Let's go to Morgan Murphy now for the weather news. Morgan?
Thanks, Tasha. Yeah, last week we talked about how drought is something we can watch all year round, and this year we've been having a pretty dry year, and we're sure seeing the effects of that out east. We're seeing in North Carolina about 500 acres just being engulfed and just burned down to ash here with a wildfire, and it's been really hard to contain. There have been about 20 municipalities total that have been working together to try and contain it, but because it's been so dry all year long and because of the very high winds they're experiencing right now, it's just very hard for them to stop this fire. But moving a little bit further away into outer space, actually, we get a rare view of what a storm looks like from the International Space Station. This is a thunderstorm over Africa that an astronaut there grabbed with his iPhone, actually. And he said when he was looking down on it from up there, it looked like a black hole. So that's just something you don't really see every day. But we are moving in towards summer here, even if it doesn't feel like it. And I personally love cycling and running outside. And one of the things I always look at is the surface map to see if it's all right to go outside and run. And our surface maps are going to look a little something like this, where you have your low pressure system here and with a cold front associated with it right there. And we can take a look at an example of a location where we might see some changes occurring with this. And so we'll look at Milwaukee, Wisconsin here for a chance, and we'll see the winds right now are coming out of the south at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. But watch what happens when this cold front goes through the area. They're going to do a complete 180 to the north. That's going to bring a lot of cold air in from the north here. It's going to drop the temperatures down to 15 or 20 degrees below what they were, and this can actually bring thunderstorms with it, a lot of rain too, so just watch out for that cold front right there whenever you're planning out your summer days. But surface maps aren't the only thing we look at in terms of the surface. We look at something else when we're making our forecasts.
Picture yourself in the middle of November. Your city receives 10 inches of snow, while a city 30 miles to the east receives none. A week later, it's a sunny day. But your city is much colder than that of the city to the east. There's a specific reason why this happens.
So once we turn white, a lot of the incoming solar radiation is reflected and not utilized in heating the surface of the earth. So winter sets in after that first major snowfall in the late fall or early winter.
What Al is talking about is called albedo. Different objects have different albedos. On the one hand, we have objects with a high albedo, such as snow, ice, or anything else light in color. These objects will reflect more of the incoming sun's heat. On the other hand, we have surfaces with a lower albedo, like a black field, parking lot, or anything else dark in color.
It is a ratio between incoming solar radiation on an object, so how much does it receive, to how much of that solar radiation is reflected off of that body.
So the basic answer to why one town can be much cooler than its neighbor is simply reflection. A town with no snow will absorb more of the sun's warmth than a town with snow. I'm John Bommelman, reporting for Studio One Weather.
So even if you're seeing some snow on the ground where you're from, just know is that as soon as it melts, all that heat from the sun's going to be staying right on the surface with you. And moving into thunderstorm season, our weather question of the week is, what kind of clouds are associated with extremely severe thunderstorms? Is it cumulonimbus, cirrus, stratus, or cumulus? And Tasha, I've heard the Weather Channel throw around this word all the time, so you've probably heard it before.
Well, honestly, Morgan, I'm just impressed that you can pronounce the option for A. Thank you. Studio with a final look at the weather. Morgan?
Thanks, Tasha. Yeah, looking at our temps for this week, we're seeing a little bit of cold weather moving in from the west there, but for the rest of this week, we're looking at pretty warm temperatures. The week after, they might want to watch out for that cold. The precipitation for this week looking pretty dry, still in Southern California a little bit there, but over on the East Coast where those wildfires are, it looks like they might get a little bit of relief with some rain and even some snow on the northeastern coast there. And moving into thunderstorm season here, our weather question of the week is, what kind of clouds are associated with extremely severe thunderstorms? And the answer is actually cumulonimbus clouds.
What do those kinds of clouds look like?
Well, they're going to be the dark black ones with the thunderstorms associated with them, and they can go up to 30,000 feet.
Okay, thanks, Morgan.